Welcome dear students. Today I am going to talk about the concept of bioindustry and recent trends in the development of bioindustry. Currently, one of the most significant topics on the political and scientific agendas worldwide is sustainable development. This is a result of the grave issues that our society is dealing with, such as resource depletion, climate change and environmental degradation. The so-called bioeconomy will encourage the production of food, materials and energy from renewable biological resources while balancing other factors like waste generation and greenhouse gas emissions. To drive this transformation, which aims to lessen our reliance on fossil fuel-based products and meet global sustainability targets, a robust bio-based industrial sector is required. In order to deliver and place in the market a full range of products with applications in various sectors, bio-based industries are therefore responsible for using renewable biomass, that is, any biological resource that can be used as raw material. This ultimately leads to the creation of new job opportunities and economic growth. Furthermore, the bio-based sector helps to improve the management of the biological resources that are now available, reducing waste production in line with the circular economy concept, which holds that the value of goods, materials and resources should be maintained in the economy for as long as feasible. Developed nations aim to enhance the bioindustry through new technological discoveries and new governmental regulations. Furthermore, as the availability of fossil fuels declines, the global energy problem has grown significantly. To come out of the current energy problem, numerous nations worldwide are constantly looking for alternate energy sources. It is preferred that these alternative energies be highly appropriate, sustainable and eco-friendly. The bioindustry has emerged as the most viable answer to the issue of energy scarcity in the world of change. The bioindustry has been the subject of extensive domestic and international research for many years. The bioindustry is developing at a very rapid rate these days. The bioindustry's industrial development has accelerated in industrialized nations like the United States, European Union and Japan due to the industry's rapid technological advancement. Some traits that set the bioindustry apart from other industries are: Number 1. It is a knowledge-based sector built on high technology with room for expansion and rapid growth. Number 2. It adds significant value to the economy. It is interconnected with other industries, including the information technology and the engineering technology. It is a fundamental sector that can address a wide range of issues, including those pertaining to health, the environment, and energy. It raises ethical and security concerns, and it carries a high risk and high reward. Every nation focuses on bringing the technology to the market. On the other hand, due to global bioindustry development, safety and ethics have gained prominence. In light of this, nations all over the world adopted the Biosafety Protocol in Montreal, Canada in January 2000. The world may regulate the bioindustry's growth and set global ethical guidelines via the Biosafety Protocol. Bioindustry encompasses various technologies that strive towards increased resource efficiency and the ability to draw value from biomass. Low carbon energy, biomass refining, recycling, waste, utilization and sustainable chemicals are all possible products of the bioindustry. Leveraging the full potential of bio-based industry will play a fundamental role in mitigating climate change. We can replace many of the fossil-based products we use in our daily lives with bio-based alternatives. The bio-based products cause lower carbon dioxide emissions and help us to reduce our carbon footprint, which is critical to meet the climate change targets. Bio-based products can also have improved functionalities and better recyclability. Bio-based industry is, however, only one part of the equation in tackling climate change. We cannot replace all fossils with a bio. Radical improvement of overall resource efficiency by minimizing waste and maximizing the value of both fossil-intensive and bio-based materials will be the key to a sustainable future. To succeed, we need to accelerate the pace and work together across industries to collaborate on the next big leaps in innovation design and implementation of circular solutions. The responsibility of bio-based industries is to leverage the renewable biomass, which refers to any biological resource that can be utilized as a raw material to produce and introduce a wide range of products that have applications across various industries. This will ultimately lead to the creation of new job opportunities and economic growth. The bio-based economy helps to reduce waste production by improving the management of the biological resources that are currently available. The primary bio-based raw materials used in the bioindustry are animal fats, vegetable oils such as rapeseed, palm, and soybean oils, sugar or starch crops such as corn, wheat, and sugar beet, lignocellulosic and algal biomass such as wood, straw, sugarcane, bagasse corn, leftovers, seaweed, and waste-derived feedstocks such as brewer's spent grain, the organic fraction of municipal solid waste, residues from the paper and pulp industry. These firms also view other byproducts like ethanol and glycerol, as well as intermediate molecules as platform chemicals. Given that the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United States estimates that around 1.3 billion tons are produced annually worldwide, special consideration must be given to the use of food-derived wastes as raw materials. Animal and plant waste can be processed to produce a variety of goods, including dietary fibers, antioxidants, carotenoids, essential oils, oils high in omega-3 fatty acids, and chitosan polymers for use in biomedical applications. According to United States Department of Agriculture, USDA 2020, products that are developed from the plants and other renewable agricultural, marine, and forestry materials and provide an alternative to conventional petroleum-derived products are classified as bio-based products. Bio-based products, which do not include fossils, are either full or partial derivatives of biological origin and fall into three general categories. Number 1, bio-based materials. Number 2, biofuels and bioenergy. And number 3, biochemicals. The primary feedstocks for the production of these products are either gaseous emissions such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, methane, or biomass, lignocellulose, or biogenic waste. Making effective use of these feedstocks in biorefinery systems will play a significant role. Because they may effectively replace fossil fuel-based products, bio-based products are seen as sustainable and are becoming increasingly significant in the global economy. Compound annual growth rate for bio-based products is expected to be 12.6% between 2018 and 2025. Right now, bio-based goods are recommended due to their lower emissions and environmental friendliness. Bio-based products traditionally include wood, cork, natural rubber, paper, textiles, and wood construction materials. Notwithstanding, bio-based chemicals, bioplastics, and biofuels are also relevant products, thus covering a long list of organic acids: lactic acid, succinic acid, acetic acid, alcohols such as ethanol, lauryl alcohol, furfuryl alcohol, polymers such as polyethylene, terephthalate, polyhydroxy, alkanoate, starch-based plastics, surfactants, glycolipids, sophorolipids, carboxymethyl starch, solvents such as isobutanol, ethyl acetate, acetone, adhesives such as methacrylates, epoxy resins, tall oil rosin, and cosmetics such as limonene, xanthane, vanillin, lubricants such as isoalkanes, fatty acid methyl esters. Furthermore, bio-based products can be categorized as innovative products when they have new functions and prospective markets, or as drop-in equivalents when they are similar to those made from fossil fuels. When assessing sustainability, one often looks at the product and all of its aspects, including development, handling, processing, and use. In general, there are two ways to achieve sustainability. Number one, using resources sustainably, which involves moving from a linear, fossil-based economy to a bio-based economy, or bioeconomy or low-carbon economy. And number two, changing from a linear, fossil-based economy to a circular economy. Circular economy concept is emerging as the most promising strategy to incorporate the environmental well-being, societal benefits, and economic aspects through systems thinking approach wherein the materials such as wastes of a system will be considered as a starting material for another by closing the loops by keeping the material in use. By reducing reliance on fossil fuel based raw materials, a bio-based economy can address issues related to environment and climate change and eventually move towards a decarbonization platform that promotes sustainability. Now let us throw some light on the recent trends in the development of bioindustry. Major economic constraints include production costs, the availability of funds to invest in production capacity, and the variable feedstock prices. In this context, several countries have launched different national investment programs and public-private partnerships to promote research and innovation, as well as cooperation between both academy and industry, such as the European Horizon 2020 program, the European Bio-Based Industries Joint Undertaking BBIJU Action, the US Bio-Preferred Program, the US BETO Bioenergy Technologies Office Program, the Brazilian Bioenergy FAPESP Program, the Canadian Biotechnology Innovation Organization, Biotech Canada, the Indian Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council BIRAC, the Malaysian Bioeconomy Transformation Program, the Bioindustry to expand action of the Chinese 13th Five-Year Plan, or the Argentinian Pro-Biomassa Program, among others. In addition to Europe, the bio-based industries leading nations worldwide are the United States of America, Brazil, Canada, China, and Malaysia, based on industrial innovation, projected and actual production capacity, and feedstock availability. The US Bio-Preferred Program is one of the tactics to increase the commercialization and usage of bio-based goods. Its goal is to lessen the United States' reliance on the petrochemical industry by generating new employment opportunities and opening up new markets for agricultural commodities. The Department of Agriculture created this initiative in 2002, and it features a diverse range of companies ranging from small to major enterprises and bio-based products such as intermediate products, platform chemicals, and end products. The goal of the US BETO plan, like that of the European BBIJU action, is to support public-private partnerships that aim to address feedstock supply, conversion, distribution, and end use while supporting targeted research, development, and demonstration projects, and market transformation activities through an integrated supply chain approach. Brazil is a significant bioeconomy nation with a robust bio-based sector as a result of its large sugarcane industry. It ranks among the top 5 countries that employ genetically modified crops, and over 25% of the fuel consumed is made up of bioethanol. However, despite the government's encouragement of the bioeconomy through a number of legislative initiatives and laws, Brazil does not yet have a specialized bioeconomy strategy. The Canadian Council of Forest Ministers introduced the first government policy in 2017 titled as a Forest Bioeconomy Framework for Canada in an effort to encourage the use of biomass as a feedstock for bio-based chemicals, polymers and composites. Canada has established multiple investment initiatives aiming at fostering innovative ideas and innovative technologies related to the creation, advancement, manufacturing, production and utilization of bio-based goods and procedures in various industries, including health, energy, agriculture, chemicals, manufacturing, automotive, aerospace and materials. The goal of India's bioeconomy strategy is to convert the life scientific knowledge into competitive, eco-friendly and socially meaningful goods across all industries with potential biotechnological applications. The Indian Bioeconomy Plan prioritizes the advancement of bioenergy, medicinal biotechnology, nanobiotechnology and other bio-based related technologies. A key component of this plan is nutrition and food security. In this regard, cutting-edge techniques like genetic engineering are applied to raise the food sector's productivity via creative research. In Southeast Asia, Malaysia was the first nation to launch a national bioeconomy initiative. The Malaysian bioeconomy, which has sustainability and the circular economy as its main primary pillars, is closely tied to industrial upgradation and the application of biotechnology approaches. The bioeconomy, which encompasses all economic sectors that may profit from the usage of bio-based technologies, contributed 11.3% to Malaysia's gross domestic product in 2015, amounting to 131 billion ringgits or roughly 28 billion euros. The main industries that made up this contribution were the fishing, fruit and vegetable, palm oil and livestock sectors. Furthermore, 2.34 million people were employed in the bioeconomy overall and 24.7 billion ringgits, approximately 5 billion euros, investments were made, with 58% of the money going to the manufacturing related industries and 42% going to agriculture. The bio-based industry in China is promoted by the Bioindustry to expand action of the 13th Five-Year Plan for Economic and Social Development of the People's Republic of China, which highlights the progress on biotechnology as an engine for sustainable development. China has several strategies and initiatives to promote biotechnology in addition to the 13th Five-Year Plan. A major government initiative to support high-tech and high-value businesses such as new energy vehicles, biopharmaceuticals, and biomedical technology is made in China 2025. Argentina's abundance of biomass, highly developed scientific and technological capabilities, and long-standing institutional and entrepreneurial linkages to the agriculture sector present enormous opportunities for the growth of the bioeconomy. Additionally, Argentina is one of the top 5 nations using genetically modified crops and producing bioenergy. The goals of the European bioeconomy strategy are to secure food and nutrition, manage natural resources responsibly, decrease reliance on non-renewable, unsustainable resources, whether they are domestically produced or imported, mitigate and adapt to climate change, and boost European competitiveness and employment opportunities. The United States bioeconomy promotes the application of cutting-edge technologies to enable raising domestic bioenergy production, generating new employment, accelerating economic growth, and stimulating national investment. It also enhances the United States' competitiveness in international markets for energy and bioproducts, making the most use of biomass resources and improves the standard of living for the United States citizens. By encouraging the use of biotechnological instruments such as genomics and biocatalysts, and the advancement of the development of novel medications, biological breeding, and next-generation biotechnological goods and services, the Chinese bioeconomy fosters the growth of bio-based sector. In total, 41 states across the globe have declared their commitment to pursue specific political approaches aimed at fostering and growing their bioeconomies. The European Commission 2018 reports that in 2015, the bio-based industry in the European Union generated a turnover of 2.3 trillion euros. The food, beverage and tobacco industries produced half of the turnover, followed by agriculture at 17% and the paper sector at 8%. In addition, it employed 18 million people and generated 621 billion euros of value added. 2014 saw $393 billion and 4.2 million employments added to the US economy by the bio-based sector. Comparably, in 2015, the Chinese bio-based sector generated a total value added of almost 560 billion euros. These numbers demonstrate the sheer volume of bio-based products as new items or as innovative drop-in substitutes that are currently in the market, supporting industrial revival at the same time. In addition, a number of innovative items are anticipated to hit the market soon. The paper, pulp and cardboard industry has created innovative uses for cellulose in an effort to replace fossil fuel-based textiles and plastics. Increase the use of nanofibrils in bio-based adhesives, utilization of foldable cardboard for flexible electronics in the packaging industry, or convert side streams into biofuel or other fine and commodity chemicals, healthcare, automotive, consumer goods, construction. Similar to this, the textile industry has produced more environmental friendly goods using textile fibers generated from wood by limiting its processing options to mechanical methods and abstain from the use of hazardous chemicals. Alternative wood-related goods are being used in other industries, such as construction, to replace energy-intensive non-renewable building materials. This is helping to lower the sector's greenhouse gas emissions, which were 1.45 gigatons carbon dioxide in 2016. Statistics databases covering the European bio-based primary production sectors, agriculture, forestry, and aquaculture are comprehensive and mostly contain statistics on biomass output. Europe produces around 1466 metric tons of dry matter on average, with the majority coming from the forestry, that is 510 metric tons, and agriculture, that is 956 metric tons sectors. However, due to the soil maintenance practices, that is, part of the biomass is left in the field to maintain the carbon sink, the other ecosystem services, only 806.03 metric tons in dry matter were harvested, 578 metric tons from agriculture, 227 metric tons from forestry, 1.5 metric tons from fisheries and aquaculture, 0.03 metric tons from algae. From about 1 billion tons of biomass, Europe uses 60% of them in the feed and food sector, 19.1% in the bioenergy sector, and 18.8% in the biomaterial sector. Once the primary biomass production and extraction and the food, drink and tobacco products are eliminated, the annual turnover of the bio-based sectors in Europe in 2015 was estimated to be 695 billion euros out of 2.3 trillion euros. In Europe, 803 biorefineries have been located. By definition, biorefineries are processing facilities that transform biomass into a variety of useful products. Among the identified biorefineries, 507 facilities produce bio-based chemicals, 363 produce liquid biofuels, and 141 produce bio-based composites and fibers. Utilizing resources that are now regarded as wastes or residues may present a significant opportunity to produce unique and alternative bio-based products. This is the case, for example, with the lignin or lignosulfonate streams from the pulp and paper industry, food waste industrial residues such as pomace, brewer's spent grain, potato peels, or the other organic fraction from municipal solid waste, which can be used to produce lightweight materials, biofertilizers, biotextiles, bioplastics, or phenol-based aromatic compounds. Apart from European nations, numerous other countries are creating or implementing strategies related to the bioeconomy, with the aim of augmenting their national proportions of bio-based industries. Among these nations are the United States of America, Brazil, Canada, India, Malaysia, China, and Argentina. So now we are going to talk about the bio-based products. First in the category are bioplastics. Plastics are made from petroleum-based products that are not sustainable. In order to promote sustainable development, there is a growing concern about the need for the manufacture and use of eco-friendly plastics, such as bio-based and biodegradable plastics. One of the most popular bioplastics that is comparable to traditional plastics like polyethylene and polypropylene is polylactic acid, polylactide, PLA. PLA can be easily broken down in a short amount of time or persist for several years. PLA is generally produced in two consecutive steps. Number one is the formation of lactic acid through fermentation of plant starch, such as corn, wheat, cassava, sugarcane, and sugar beet pulp, followed by number two, self-condensation polymerization of lactic acid or lactide ring opening polymerization. Cellulose fibers on combination with polymers or plastics result in the formation of biocomposites and fiber reinforced plastics, FRP. So talking about the bio-based composites, when two or more materials with different physical and chemical properties are combined, a composite is created that ultimately possesses superior qualities to the original materials. Bio-based composites have several good uses in the automotive, building and electronics, casing industries. Diverse bio-based materials are used to produce bio-based composites such as wood decks, sound-absorbing wooden materials, interior of bathrooms, window frames, consumer appliances, decorative trim, automotive panels and industrial applications. So talking about the bioadhesives. The naturally occurring polymeric compounds that function as adhesives are typically referred to as bioadhesives. Certain substances like gums made from biogenic sugars and synthetic compounds meant to adhere to biological tissue are also recognized as bioadhesives. The traditional adhesives, mostly composed of carbohydrates such as starch and proteins such as gelatin. The bioadhesives are attaining commercial attention as they show biocompatibility and thus hold good applications in the biomedical domain. The global market scope of bioadhesives is expected to increase from $5.6 billion to $9.1 billion in a span of 5 years, from 2019 to 2024, at a compound annual growth rate of 10% due to the upsurge of their utility in the paper, packaging, construction, woodworking and medicinal industries. So, we are going to talk about the bio-based chemicals now. General chemical products that are entirely or partially generated from biological resources such as lignin cellulosic biomass, farmed crops, algae, marine life and biological organical waste are known as bio-based chemicals. The manufacturing of 1,4-butane diol, isobutanol and N-butanol is being commercialized by a number of companies. N-butanol is produced as a byproduct of fermentation together with acetone and ethanol. Levulinic acid produced from C6 carbohydrates such as starch and cellulose of lignocellulosic biomass holds two reactive functional groups, ketone and carboxylic acid, that admits several of chemical reaction conversions and produce a broad spectrum of compounds. Xylitol serves as a natural sweetener and with 40% lesser calories than the sugar, black liquor from paper and pulping plants, and hydrolysates from various pretreatment processes are also being used to produce xylitol, eventually reducing the environmental impact. through the chemical oxidation of hydrocarbon molecules derived from petroleum, volatile fatty acids are produced. This process is energy intensive and has a negative impact on the environment. The current requirement is for these volatile fatty acids to be produced biologically. Acidogenesis is a potentially developing technology that converts organic waste and biomass into low-carbon biohydrogen and volatile-free acids, such as butyric, valeric, propionic, and acetic acids. Chemically, these can act as the building blocks for compounds including alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, esters, olefins. Production of bio-origin solvents such as bioethanol and biobutanol is progressing as an innovative approach to meet their demand. The worldwide bioethanol market is expected to rise to $64.8 billion by 2025, with compound annual growth rate of 14%. Globally, a huge demand for utilization of fuel blends for the existing engines is rising to control greenhouse gas emissions, in which bioethanol is playing a key role. Blends of gasoline and ethanol such as E10, E15 and E85 are popular right now. Different biomass feedstocks ranging from the first to the fourth generation could be used as the starting material for the fermentation process to produce different generation ethanol. Lastly, we are going to talk about the bioenergy and biofuels. Reducing the global gas emissions can be achieved by combining energy-efficient strategies with renewable energy adoption. Opportunities to lessen the environmental effect and the number of fossil fuel-based facilities are now provided by energy recovery through biological mechanisms. First one is the biogas. The ultimate product of anaerobic digestion or fermentation, methane is biologically produced utilizing biogenic organic feedstock such as sewage, municipal waste, biomass, manure, plant and crop waste. Refinement and upgrading of biogas is necessary to reduce carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide and moisture content in order to effectively use it as fuel. Methane is generally used in chemical industry and automobiles in the form of compressed natural gas (CNG), which is better fuel compared to petrol and diesel. However, to meet the demand and minimize greenhouse gas emissions, methane needs to be refined. Hythane, a blend of hydrogen and methane, is drawing attention in recent years as an efficient fuel for the automobile industry. So now we are going to talk about the biodiesel. In order to preserve crude oil stocks and reduce carbon dioxide emissions, the use of alternative and futuristic fuels for diesel engines is growing in popularity. Yeast, vegetable oils, animal fats or microalgal oil are catalytically trans-esterified with methanol to make biodiesel, which is a clean, sustainable bio-based energy. One possible method for producing lipids that can go through trans-esterification to create biodiesel with the appropriate properties is microalgal farming. Algal cultivation's versatility in using inorganic and organic carbon in autotrophic, heterotrophic or mixotrophic modes of cultivation acknowledges its potential contribution to the bioeconomy. Thank you all for joining today's lecture. I hope you found it informative.